Hello fans of the modular shed. Now I'm doing another video in fairly quick succession to the last one because I've got it to a point where I think you can see a lot about how this thing's put together with it in its current state. So let's have a look at that. So here's the extension which constitutes modules 4 and 5, fully completed in terms of the roof, which is watertight, and the floor, which has its modules in place but not the floorboards because they obscure what you can see if you just look at the modules. So this near module you can see is one orientation, and the far module is actually the same module but rotated 90 degrees, and the two modules under the existing shed, which is in use, are 90 degree rotations again, so they rotate round a full 360 degree circle, if you like, and this post here is the central post, and therefore it has 4 of these long arm hangers on all 4 of the faces of that post. You can't see it all at the moment, but yes, that's the only post that has 4 of these long arm hangers, into which sit the 5x2 main joists. So the way a floor module works is it's got 2 5x2 main joists, this near one here sitting in the long arm hangers and the far one, and then the 3 cross joists are 4x2s sitting on these mini hangers, these little things there. And you can see modifications that I have to make to these long arm hangers. Firstly, this tag at the bottom has to be bent down. For some reason it goes that way when you buy it. Then I put slight funneling at the tops. Actually, this one I don't think I did. Let's go to this one. Yeah, a little bit of funneling. I just put that top edge in the vise and bend it out slightly, bend that one that way. And that's because these floor modules do get dropped into the long arm hangers and then lifted back out again several times. So one of the other features that you can see with the shed in this condition is the 6 long arm hangers that are set high. So this one and those other 2, and that's so that the floor module can be lifted out, raised up and used as a working platform to work on the roof. So let's cover the roof next. So the roof consists of, mounted atop the 3 main posts, and actually these posts support everything. They support the floor frames, they support the roof, and eventually they'll also support the walls. So the first thing I do is put the little 1 foot post extension on the middle post to raise its height higher than the other 2. Then I fit the rafters. Now you can see they're double rafters, so I put 1 either side of the post for no other reason really than just it gives the rafter more strength. The blue battens are then placed over that double rafter and screwed down into both of them, which rigidizes the whole thing. There are 3 blue battens. There's 1 there, 2, 3. They run into the existing module, and just because the existing module has those blue battens sticking out slightly to support the roof overhang when this was a 3 module shed, I've made the roof battens go inside the existing module slightly. I'm not sure it's absolutely necessary. I peel back the roof of the existing module slightly when I'm up on the working platform, and I screws down through the blue battens into the angled rafters. Then probably the trickiest bit is screwing down the roof sheets. They're very light, these roof sheets, but you do have to get above the roof in order to place those caps onto the screws with waterproof caps. I'm not sure if you can see that. I can't see the screen very well at this height. Now someone was asking about tips and tricks. Well, here's one. On this post I brought the rafter down to align with the top of the post, but that meant that as the roofing sheet came further down it was fouling on the top of the post, and you can see there I've had to cut an angled section away on the post, so that was a mistake. This time round you can see, oh I hope you can see, can you see that? That I've brought the rafter down to sit half an inch or so above the flat of the post top, and that means that I haven't had to carve away a section of this post. As the roofing sheet comes down, it's pretty close actually there. How close is it? Yeah, just a few millimeters, but it clears the top of that post. So there's a tip. Now I was also asked about should I have put it this close to the hedge, and it is very close to the hedge. It's probably the width of the post, which is 4 inches to the hedge. Well, the solution to this is I'm simply going to cut this hedge back sufficiently far, and it will probably remove all of the green foliage on the hedge, and I'll be back to the main branches, such that I can get down there. The main issue really is just the top of the hedge as it grows up and starts to impact on the edge of the roofing sheet. So yes, I'm just going to cut this hedge aggressively back, and it'll get a bit sticky. Now you probably noticed this strategically placed beam here. Well, that fits, if I can put this in position here, in these mini joist hangers. I'll just knock it down. And this side, yep, I think that's in, and that supports the ends, the tips of the floorboards. I'll get a floorboard to show what I mean. So there's a floorboard in position, and you can see at this end the tip of the floorboard sits halfway across the main joist of this module, because it's rotated with respect to this module, and the other tip sits on this 4x2 sitting on mini hangers, which is literally there to support those tips. Now of course, because this next module over here is rotated 90 degrees, the floorboards are the other way around. I'll get another floorboard, and so on this floorboard you can see it rests on the 3 cross joists, but the tip is just sitting halfway over the main joist of this module, which is an in-use module. And at this end, what you don't want is, if you stand on here, the whole thing tipping up. So I will put another 4x2 sitting on mini hangers across here between those 2 posts, and then the modules and frames will be complete with joists to prevent the floorboards tipping over right at their ends. And this roof over these 2 new modules is now completely watertight. It has the ridge capping sheet screwed down into that vertically mounted 4x1, which sits halfway across that post and halfway across that post, so that this can be extended on if I choose to do that, and I may well. And so the next step is to put the walls on. Well, you can see that there's almost a complete wall here, leaning back to front against this side panel. That actually came out of there, and I replaced it with a temporary wall set between the posts, so that I would have exposed faces on which to screw these brackets. So that's one wall. I need, possibly these 2 temporary walls could move out here so that they become temporary walls on this outer edge, and that just means that I need a wall to go against the hedge. Well, now so far those particular walls I've been doing with OSB sheet. So now those have shot up in price. They're £18 each, and I need 3 sheets to fill that wall, so it's a £54 wall. That's expensive, but I'll probably go for the OSB again on that hedge protected side, because if we take another look at that OSB, it's in absolutely fine condition because it's just not exposed to the weather. So that is modules 4 and 5, roof on. floor frames in. They just need floorboards. Two of the floorboards have to have corners cut out of them so that they fit around the main posts, but that's a fairly easy job to do. And then get the walls on, and I have a bigger shed. Goodbye.